For many years, publishers like EA have been pumping out game after game, roster updates each year of every sport under the sun. Soccer, football, baseball, you name it. These games are littered with complicated menu items, meaningless statistics, complex controls, and varying degrees of actual fun gameplay. So today, I'd like to take you back to a simpler time. A time when the ferocious teams of the Black and Blue Division reigned supreme, and any kid in America can play out those epic football games in their living room with only 2 buttons and a D-pad. A time when all game design aspects took a back seat to the most important objective, fun. Today, we're going to be taking a look at my personal favorite sports game, Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES. The Tecmo Bowl series is an American football game series that began in the arcades in 1987. The arcade Tecmo Bowl was housed in a very wide arcade machine, allowing for 4 players to compete on 2 teams against each other, Wildcats and Bulldogs. This was a classic quarter-eating game, causing you to keep entering quarters to extend the clock. Definitely a fun game to spend some time with, but is, in my opinion, a bumpy start to where the series would eventually wind up. After moderate success with the arcade game, Nintendo licensed a port for the NES simply titled Tecmo Bowl, released in 1989. Prior to this, Atari had released some football titles, but Tecmo Bowl was well known for being the first game to have an NFL license. Only 12 teams were used, and only referred to as the cities they were from. Real NFL players' names appeared, though, allowing you to play as greats such as Walter Payton, Bo Jackson, and Jerry Rice. But the main thing this game innovated on was delivering a simplified experience that delivered fun gameplay each and every time. Each team only has 4 plays, oftentimes 2 runs and 2 passes depending on who you pick. The gameplay consists of a chess match of each player choosing a play from the same playbook to either successfully pull off the offensive strategy or stuff the QB or running back for a loss of yards. The D-pad in this game works great for movement, and when playing defense you can hit the B button to dive at an offensive player to try and tackle them. On the offensive side of the ball, each play starts with the QB either handing the ball off or dropping back to make a pass. When running, mashing the A button is used to break a tackle. When passing, the A button selects a receiver and the B button delivers the perfectly spiraled ball into the hands of the receiver selected. I have poured hundreds of hours into this game and have completed it with the Bears several times, and one thing is for certain, the gameplay just never gets old, specifically when you're playing with a friend. You will start to learn little quirks in the defenses and exploits that you can try to use to win, and that will help you score some points. However, when playing another person, this will not make that big of a difference. Tecmo really nailed the gameplay and competitive nature of this game, and while leaving out some real football elements such as fumbles and injuries, and of course a playbook larger than 4 plays, the fun factor is undeniable. One aspect that contributes greatly to the experience is the energetic music. I regard this as one of the most recognizable NES soundtracks, and it is so catchy to this day. Oftentimes, Tecmo Bowl is regarded as one of the best NES games ever made overall. However, in my opinion, it wasn't until Tecmo's next game that they really hit the peak in the fun football gameplay, and truly the peak of the series. And that game was Tecmo Super Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl, released in 1991 on the NES. In my opinion, this is hands down the ultimate football experience on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Tecmo took everything great about the original game and decided to make it bigger and better. Tecmo had 12 teams, Tecmo Super Bowl has 28 teams, all based on the actual 90-91 season teams and rosters. The playbook on Tecmo Bowl has 4 plays? Well, guess what? Tecmo Super Bowl features an 8-play playbook, each being able to be edited and changed to your liking. Right out of the gate with the opening cinematic, it just gives you that feeling that this is going to be a grand and epic experience, an enhanced version of Tecmo Bowl in every way. Tecmo Super Bowl is one of those rare sequels where not only does it add to the original formula with new ways to play, but it also retains 100% of the fun that the original started. Upon reaching the main menu, you're greeted with a few new menu options. First up, Preseason. This is the game mode for a one-off between any two teams of your choice, man versus man, man versus computer, or even have the computer compete against itself. It's all up to you. This is often my go-to when popping the game in for a quick game of football and just for a great blast of fun. Second up, Season Game. Easily the most fleshed out between Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl, and a much enhanced season from the previous. This season features playbook edits, a full schedule with playoffs, and it also keeps track of all your stats across the league, such as rushing yards, number of sacks, or defensive yards allowed. You can play through the full season and keep track of your record. It's really a fun experience. Lastly, Pro Bowl and Team Data, both being exactly what you might expect. The best of the National Conference duke it out with the best of the American Conference, and various team stats are found, including the ability to edit offensive playbooks across each team. Getting down to the actual gameplay here, a few new things were added. Things such as coin toss in the beginning, injuries, larger rosters allowing for replacements and backups, fumbles, and a new method of kicking field goals. In addition to this, new animations for big plays have also been added, including a much improved halftime show for each game. When you make that long throw pass and the animation just starts up, you know your player is going to catch it. It's truly an exhilarating experience. My fondest memories of Super Tecmo Bowl were playing through the entire season and keeping track of how my team was doing overall in the NFL versus the other computer teams. See, unlike newer games which make knowing the stats of players or teams essential for strategy or even to win, this game has stats function more as a high score, keeping the truly arcade feel of the original. I would always check this out between every other game or so to see how good my team was stacking up compared to others. Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl are both outstanding titles on the NES. I honestly have spent equal time with both games and probably come back to the first game more often for that pick up and play arcade experience when I'm in the mood to play. However, it is undeniable that Super Tecmo Bowl improved the formula in nearly every way. It made the game more complex, but not too complex. More options to play, but not too many options where you're lost in the menus. And most importantly of all, it kept true to the foundation and most important objective of the original: fun. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like or comment. Which Tecmo Bowl is your favorite? I'd love to know your opinion. Subscribe for more game spotlights like this every Sunday, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.